So let's talk about the tools and products that I used to get started with my mobile detailing business. So prior to this, I had never detailed a vehicle in my life before. Now I've taken my vehicles to go get a detail, but didn't know the process or what I needed to get started. So I went down the path of YouTube University to kind of figure out what I needed to get going. Because at this point, I was starting to put, Facebook posts out there offering to exchange a free detail service for some before and afters and Google reviews, right? Now, this all started because I was looking for, some side money. I had a neighbor who was like, hey, I'll pay you to clean the inside of my vehicle. And that kind of sparked this idea of, oh, maybe I can, um, detail cars and make, some side money that way. And so my initial thought was, hey, let me put something out there on Facebook and see if I got anybody interested and started to get some interest. So my first detail was actually an interior for my first customer. And so at this point, I knew I needed to kind of get my setup going because I was already starting to see the interest. And so I wanted to make sure I had something for both inside and outside just to kind of have my initial setup. And so after watching a lot of different videos, right, pretty much my first setup, which it did kind of rapidly start to increase quite a bit. And it was just because I was getting more interest. And so I just wanted to add more things to start building up my supplies and tools to be able to provide, better results, with my detailing. But like the first initial one from day one that I had when I went to go buy was this. I got a vacuum, a rigid vacuum from Home Depot, and there was actually a detailing vacuum accessory kit sold separately that I bought for it, which came with like a longer hose. It came with some other attachments for the vacuum, which were specific for detailing to get into crevices, things of that nature, right? Um, Other tools that I bought was I purchased a detailing brush kit. There's a couple different brushes, and then also like a carpet scrubbing kit to get started with. And then when it came down to like my chemicals, right? Oh, I also did buy, like a couple of wash mitts to do exterior washes, right? For like contact wash, and then a couple of buckets from Home Depot as well, one to rinse, and then one I could fill up with soap. So as far as my chemicals went, I bought, it was like a Turtle Max soap that I could dilute in water again for my contact wash. Super clean that, I bought so that I had like an all-purpose cleaner for the inside of the vehicle. I bought a UV protectant dressing so that once I was cleaning with the all-purpose cleaner, I could protect it with something, you know, and then I also purchased some microfiber towels because I knew you're gonna have to wipe things down and clean things off with them. Then I got some like tire shine and some wheel cleaner. I think it was the Meguiar's, or no, it may have been Armor All. To be honest, I think is where I started with one of those. And it might have just been actually, I might have had some Armor All, to be honest. Like I might have had some wheel cleaner. I think I just had it in my garage that I ended up using. And then that was pretty much it. I'm going to show you a picture of like my initial setup. But that was pretty much where I had started with that. A vacuum, some detailing brushes, a few different, products. Like I said, an all-purpose cleaner, window cleaner. Oh yeah, that was another one. It was a glass cleaner, invisible glass. Had a UV protectant dressing inside that I got, and then for outside again, the Turtle Max. Soap, and then yeah, my microfiber. I also did get some air fresheners because my first interior detail, I wanted to give them an option just to kind of stand out a bit. Was to offer them one of the couple scents or fragrances that I got, and that was pretty much it. Like I said, right after my first detail, I did start kind of little slowly and surely just start adding more, but my initial one was just that, right? It was just, a few different chemicals, some wash buckets, the basic tools for the job, the vacuum and a detail brush. And so that was pretty much that. Let me know in the comments below if you want to maybe break down each individual product that I did buy when I started that, and maybe just kind of go over the cost of that first big, start setup I got when I started my mobile detailing business. But just wanted to share that with you for anyone who's looking to get started, mobile detailing. Just a few things that I was able to get just to get my first one going. And, to be honest, with just that, you can, you can definitely get a few, customers, right? Um, and get the job done with just, what I had for that first initial setup. So again, let me know in the comments below if you want me to maybe just tally out what that all cost me, or break down the individual products themselves that I used when I first got started in my mobile detailing business.